I'll say this about, I'm going to say a couple of things which are not revelatory in any way
Yeah.
of my feelings or what's inside the films. But I'm watching In the Mood for Love a second time, and there's what, are you making a face
You're
at me?
doing it. You're doing it.
No, wait until you hear what I have to say,
Okay.
which is that it's really productive to watch it a second time because you miss a lot of things.
Now that we have another week, I will.
Because the first time through, you're just basking.
Right. Right.
You know, you're just taking it all in. But I was, because for some reason Criterion Channel seems to delight in like stopping playback at random
Yeah.
moments and
Yeah.
displaying
I
it.
saw
It's
that.
like,
It's still worth it. It's great. I mean,
if you watch on your cell phone, it works fine.
those films are amazing. I mean, what a great collection of films to have access to. Yeah.
No, it's fabulous.
Really appreciate
But
it.
the problem is they sort of sell themselves as like a premium, you know, they position themselves as sort of a premium brand, and their band, and it's only with like a browser on a desktop that I seem to have any problems. Like the cell phone works great. Like the streaming app, rock solid, not a problem. But anyway, so I went back because I really didn't see it all in one piece. And I think I may have skipped a chunk of it too. So I was going back to watch the second time. And I was like, holy crap, there's a lot of detail in here. Things that you think are just passing stuff that's just a beautiful scene. It's like there's clues everywhere.
Huh.
And the other interesting thing about it is that it makes a lot less, like, it's when you watch it again, like if you watch it, if you just bask in it the first time, there's a couple of things like, I'm not sure what that's about, but you don't really care because you're just drinking it in. Second time around, it's like, yeah, something's wrong here. Like there's like weird shifts or there's an unreliable narrator and stuff like that. So if you do watch it a second time, I may actually watch it a third time and I might actually take notes, which shows you. And by the way, this is a lot more fun than a movie like Tenet, which is
Yeah.
Okay, guys, really, can we stop? Christopher Nolan, can you please just stop? Okay, this is getting, I mean, I love Inception. I love Inception to pieces. It's one of my favorite films of all time. But I thought Tenet was just, oh my God, just so belabored. But that's just me. But this film is really interesting because you think it's just beautiful.
Right. No, there's more going on.
But when you start watching it a second time, it's like, whoa, this is not as simple as I thought the entire thing was. Anyway, so I don't think that's terribly revelatory. I don't think I spilled the beans.
Maybe not. Yeah, I mean, I can think of a couple of things. I'll watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
And did you see 2046?
I saw it in chunks. I'm going to watch that again from end to end.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool because 2046, again, I'm not going to stick my toe too deeply into the water here, but 2046 sort of echoes what I was saying about In the Mood for Love, which is that there's these weird, like, if you examine really closely, like the linear nature of the movies really starts to show some weakness. I'm phrasing it the wrong way. It's not like anything's wrong, but it's like, it may be that this is not a forthright telling of a straightforward story in time.
Right. So there's like a Rashomon kind of a feel to it, maybe. Not exactly.
Well, again, I don't want to spill the beans too much.
I'm diving in, which is not
good. But I think it's okay because there's so many things to talk about. Honestly, there's so many things to talk about this film. But with these two films, one is there are scenes, and the first time around you don't pay attention, but there's scenes that are done twice with two different endings. Very short scenes. Oh. There's one scene where, stop me. Do you have one of those little air horns they use at like the football? And the flag is on the field. He's getting the yellow card. There's one where they're in Mood for Love. The two primaries are standing there, and they're having this very close conversation, and he reaches out and touches her hand, and she turns away from him.
Mm-hmm.
And blah blah. And then the same scene is done again, and she reaches out and sort of like flirts with him a bit. She sort of touches him on his jacket.
Oh.
And he says, is that what you did? And so it's really weird. You're like, and then there's this whole thing, and then there's another scene. I'm sure you remember this one where she's again now really, but here we go, where she's practicing how she's going to confront her husband. You remember that scene?
Yes, I remember that well. Yeah.
Beautiful scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gorgeous. And she's a really good actress. Really good actress. And you don't really realize until you see that scene, because she does it twice.
Right.
She plays it, and she plays it one way, and he says, is that how you're going to react to them? She says, I'm not really prepared to ask. Okay, let's go through it again.
Right.
So they're doing things over and over again, and then there's this whole theme of he's writing a book and they're writing stories.
Yeah.
And he's integrating what's happening in his life into the stories, and it's kind of cool. I think it's all I'm trying to say is I think it's much more tightly wrapped than you imagine, because at first it's just a confection. You're just gorging on it, but when you come back to it, you're like, there's some real depth here. This is not just beautiful people and beautiful cinematography and beautiful music. So I'm gonna watch both of them again. I'm sort of halfway through. I'm about 40% way through Mood for Love now. And I'm gonna do 2046 again.
Yeah, that's
and
weird too. That's strange, because it's like it's the same character, but it's not. The timeline, it's simultaneous. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's really weird, and I don't know if it's weird like it's really clever, or it's just weird.
Yeah. Well, and that might be something that Adam can shed some light on.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of I think I'm running a little hot on this mic. There's also a lot of there's a lot of ancillary materials on the Criterion Channel. I noticed there's a lot of like interviews and stuff like that, which leads to say that we can talk about it. So it's really, if you're like a film person, the Criterion Channel is utterly ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like I was watching an interview with the Safdie brothers. Do you know those guys?
No.
They're the guys who made Good Times.
Oh yeah.
And they made Uncut Gems.
Right.
And I've seen a lot of films. There's only a handful of films. There's only like 3 films that I've watched where I felt like I've been assaulted when the lights came up. One of them was Pulp Fiction.
Yep.
And the other 2 were the Safdie brother movies, The Good Times and Uncut Gems, which are just relentless films. Like you do not get a moment to catch your breath. They're absolutely relentless. But there's this interview with them. And it's a very amiable interview. And they're great. They're 2 brothers, and they're constantly talking on top of each other.
Huh.
You can tell it's a really deep relationship between them. And the guy's like, so how about New York films? What do you think are the best New York films?
Mm-hmm.
And they rip through like 40 films. Like bam, 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 bam. Oh, that one. Yeah, forget that. Oh, yeah, what about? Oh, yeah, that one. The interview's like, wait. Films about fathers. Oh, Bicycle Thieves, Kramer versus Kramer, and then they're talking back and forth. And we were making, they're talking incredibly fast. And when we were kids, we'd make films. My father was really into films, and we would take his tapes, and then what we'd do as a joke, we'd splice our commercials into the tapes he'd recorded into video cassettes. So we made a PSA about not smoking because our dad was smoking. So we inserted this thing to one of his. They're out of their minds.
That's amazing.
It's an extraordinarily unrevelatory interview. It's really, it feels like a Safdie Brothers movie, which is that there's an enormous amount going on. You have no idea in which direction it's going in at any point whatsoever. So that was fun to watch. I mean, I'm probably going to really get into more of that stuff, but they're going on and on about Robert Bresson. They worshipped him, and I started watching a Robert Bresson film called Oh Hazar Balthazar, which is about a donkey.
Yeah.
And it's really, I mean, not heavy, but I can see why they like this film. It's really intense. I know nothing about Robert Bresson. I know nothing about, but they said, oh yeah, Mouchette, fabulous film. You got to watch Mouchette. You got to watch this. You got to watch that. And Bresson is like in the firmament for them. He's like one of the key guys. So it's really interesting when people, you take people, it's like the whole thing. What's the best recommendation for music? An artist that you like.
Yeah.
What's Brian Eno listening to? I'll have some of that. Whatever he's having over there, I'll have some of that too.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, that's what did anything come to mind that you want to talk about? See, I managed to piss away about a good 10 minutes, 15 minutes there. And I tell you, I pull my weight in this podcast. Let me tell you that. I earn my pay around here.
I don't know. I started watching a Netflix show. I don't know how to describe it. It's like,
does it have a title?
It has Al Pacino in it.
Oh.
And Lena Olin.
Don't know who that is.
Mm. It's Nazi hunting porn, basically. It's called The Hunters.
Okay.
And it's about a bunch of people in New York who are hunting down in the 70s, who are finding and hunting down Nazis who were brought here.
Oh, so it's like the Odessa File, Marathon Man, Boys from Brazil, that whole genre.
It's very close to a lot of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not bad. It's not bad, but it's very gratuitous. It's there's a lot of, die Nazi scum. And it has a bunch of twists in it. And, it's kind of fun to watch now. It's also a little scary,
Yeah.
But it reminded me that my godfather, John Marcel, was a friend of my uncle's. And
Carmine?
Yeah, Carmine.
Yeah.
And John Marcel might have been born in like 1920 or so. And he said he was from England, and he had a thick German accent.
Really?
Yep. And my grandmother on my mother's side came to visit and was introduced to him. She took my mom into the kitchen and said, "He's a Nazi." And that's always been a bit of a weird thing.
So your mother's mother?
My mother's mother came to visit.
Okay, and what's your mother's story? Did your mother's mother come from Europe, or
no?
Was she a Nazi hunter, or did she?
Yeah, no. She married Van King, who was in the Pacific during World War II. And she was in the Philippines when the Japanese invaded, but there was no on that side of the family. There was no fight in Europe. It was in the Pacific because they were in California. So
she was just like a normal human being growing up in California.
Yeah, but living through the Second World War.
Right. I'm just trying to get a sense of whether her judgment is based upon any evidence, or just because the guy had a German accent.
We had to wonder, because his name was clearly not John Marcel, and he was clearly not from England. And we always laughed about it. Like, "Oh, John, come on, you're not from there." This is what my uncle is joking with him. My dad is joking with him. But my godfather never let up on that. He never said, "Oh yeah, I know I'm from Germany."
Well, being from Germany does not necessarily make one a member of the Nazi Party.
Changing your name and where you're from after you're from Germany after World War II.
A lot of Jews did that. I mean, a lot
Yes.
of Jews escaped to England and changed their names and stuff like that. I mean, I just,
That
you
might
know,
have been the case.
yeah. Or maybe he just wanted to get out of there. He didn't want to be there. I mean, it's interesting. You read about, like we talked about before, Joe Pilates. He left Germany just before World War II because he saw what was going down. He left Germany in the 1930s and he said, I'm leaving because I've seen this movie before. I saw this happen before World War I. I just want to get out of here before the lid blows off.
Yeah.
I think maybe a lot of people, so who knows? But
In New York, if he was actually escaping because of the Holocaust, it would be strange to be living in New York and pretending you weren't from Germany and that you had escaped.
yeah, you'd probably
So
be fairly open about the fact
you'd
that,
be pretty
yeah,
open about it.
I fled Germany because of the Holocaust and stuff like that, or I
It-
fled Germany for this reason and that reason.
In New York, when I was growing up, that would give you cred. It would really,
Yeah.
you'd find a whole community of people.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. So anyway, you're watching Al Pacino hunt down.
Yeah, thinking about my
Nazis.
Godfather. Yeah. Kind of weird.
Yeah.
He ended up moving to Dallas. He lived in a trailer. And he died down there.
Yeah, I read the Odessa File, which I think was one of the key, one of Ludlum's early books, and so it's
never
one of
saw that and never read it. What was the upshot?
We didn't talk about
that?
this already. I thought we talked about the Odessa File.
I don't think so. No.
It's well, Ludlum's a very interesting guy. He's sort of like the Godfather. He's one of those really. There's like Alistair. I forgot who the other guy is. There's a couple of guys who founded that whole genre. I think it was Ludlum who did the Bourne series.
Mm-hmm.
And he did the Odessa File, the Osterman Weekend, 3 Days of the Jackal, I think was also Ludlum. But that spawned a million other people who did that whole thing. And you can sort of see Tom Clancy as like the eighth iteration of some of that stuff, and it was just that. It was just an old Jewish guy dies.
Yeah.
In Germany, and leaves behind this information about this Nazi group. And there's the Odessa File, ODS. It's an acronym for something else, and about how this young German guy wants to go and find these people. He wants to bring them to justice.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's like, "Why do you care? You're a German, the war's over, this is all over. Why do you even care about doing this?" And he never really gives a good answer. And actually, an answer is given at the very end. It's a good answer. It's an interesting answer. But it's an interesting book. It's sort of it's a cliffhanger. It's tough people. It has all those elements that go into like the Bourne movies.
Yeah.
Which is that you're jet setting across European borders and you're hunting people, and there's people making quick decisions and hiding money and stealing cars and all that kind of stuff. But it's a good book. I really liked it. Really interesting. Very dated. Some of the stuff is incredibly dated, but funny, and also kind of it's tackling some issues. He's like, everybody wants to forget.
Right.
Nobody wants to talk about this stuff anymore, even if you have a point. And it's just underneath the surface that there's these people who are living very respectable lives, and just underneath the surface is this past. So interesting book. So, but I wonder why making that movie at this time.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was just that Pacino was like, "Hey, you know what I want to do? I want to make a movie about where I'm hunting Nazis." And they're like, "Okay, we'll round up the usual suspects and we'll get back to you."
We got the outfits from like 12 different films over the past 50 years.
You know what was a great movie I was never in was the Odessa Files, and I wish
I love that fucking film. Yeah, do you remember that one? The Boys from Brazil. What was it? The Boys from Brazil.
So that one was where they're trying to clone
Yeah,
Hitler or
that's with
something. Yeah.
James Mason. James Mason's a key person in that. And who else? It's James Mason. I forget the other guy. But yeah, but also Marathon Man with Dustin Hoffman. Is it Max von Sydow who plays
Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
the dentist.
Is it safe? Is it safe?
Yeah.
Awful, awful. And now, so Hunters is more over the top than both of those.
Yeah.
I mean, they go all the way, meaning, and it almost jumps the shark when, like, Adolf Hitler himself shows up in Argentina. It's comic book esque.
Oh,
It's Nazi hunting porn. It's and they wrestle with the morality problems and
so more like Inglorious
I
Bastards or Hellboy or something
yeah,
like that.
very much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's
yeah, yeah. It's all right. It's all right. It's very
yeah.
engrossing. Complicated plot. Lots of twists and turns. Lots of predictability, though. You've
How it's
got
going to
kind of
twist and how it's going to turn.
yeah, and there's a couple of like unkillable villains, that are just not human beings. They're devices to get you to hate them, so that when they finally at the end of this, the series get taken down, you're like, hooray!
Yeah,
Like all,
Cyborg, yeah, and stuff
yeah,
like that.
Cyborg almost.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd probably really get under my skin, the entire
Probably.
thing. Yeah. So, um,
So we're putting off, talking about Steinbeck until after Shartoff, and we're putting off Shartoff until next week. Yeah, I should have nailed him down for 5:30 today, but
well, that's
I guess I
fine.
didn't.
Yeah, we can't talk about politics. I
I
mean, if we
know.
could, we could talk about.
I don't have to
crap.
post this one. I mean, we still have an extra in the can, so I don't need to.
The thing I read, and I can keep from getting political. All I have to do, the one I loved recently is the poor New York Times. I think at some point the New York Times just sails into it, and they said, "Yeah, we just sound like the Onion at this point. So
Right.
we're just going to come up with headlines that sound like Onion headlines." And one of them was, "MAGA women suddenly discover they're surrounded by misogynists."
Oh my God, that's in the New York Times. That's amazing.
Look it up. It's so funny.
Oh my God. Suddenly
I was
discovered.
like, oh my God, the Onion would have been
no
so
one could have
proud.
guessed.
No, we're shocked at what these people are
Now I have
saying.
to post this. No, that's funny.
No, the other one I'm reading right now, just reading on my other screen here, is that Jeanine Pirro, who's the, did you read this one? Jeanine Pirro, who's the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, said that she'll, if anyone brings a gun into the district, you mark my words, you're going to jail. I don't care if you have a license in another district, and I don't care if you're a law-abiding gun owner somewhere else.
What?
And remember, this follows on like a week ago when Trump said, "Oh well, he was carrying, Petty was Petit or whatever his name was, Preddy was carrying a gun when he went into that thing, so it's his fault he got shot." And immediately, like the whole Second Amendment crowd,
they're like, "What? Wait a minute."
Well, they were very much so like, I think what. I was going to send you, this is another example of Wittgenstein, the Wittgensteinian roots of our current administration. Right. One guy said, well, Trump just says what's in his head. I'm like, versus what?
That's not the win you want. No.
That's so Wittgensteinian. See something, say something.
That's right. I did love Heart of a Dog. It's beautiful.
Did you love it? I didn't love it. What did you love about it? Tell me what you loved.
Okay, good
talk about that.
You know what I loved was that it was Laurie Anderson. That mostly I was just listening to her voice, for an hour and a half. And I did love the part about Wittgenstein. I loved the part about Lulabelle walking around wherever they were in California and realizing that, Oh, I'm in charge of looking out at the sky, like, because the hawks kept coming down.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the opening monologue, right? That's the
Yeah.
opening thing of the entire movie. It's like, I got to watch out what's coming down. And that was sort of echoes. And I think that's what so I think Laurie Anderson was equating that to 9/11,
Right,
right?
yeah, that's right, she was conflating the 2, and then we need to look out for what's coming from the sky.
Right.
Yeah, and that Lulabelle had the same feeling, and just I love the way she put herself into her dog's mind,
Hmm.
how observant she was, and, yeah, I mean, Lulabelle was one lucky dog.
Yeah. No,
Um,
that was fun.
yeah.
But the cool thing is that Laurie's still out there swinging, and in retro, and she has aged. Her message and her whole thing has aged well.
Absolutely. Yeah, no,
Um,
it is, I mean, even a lot of her original stuff, it's just,
Still
nobody's
relevant.
touched it, yeah.
Hmm. And I think I mentioned to you, I've rewatched like long time ago when I saw Stop Making Sense
Yeah.
and Home of the Brave. I really like Stop Making Sense, and I didn't really like Home of the Brave. And now that's
Mhm.
completely inverted itself. I don't really care for Stop Making Sense at all. And Home of the Brave, I think, is a great movie, great show, fabulous
Uh,
show.
she gave a talk in New Hampshire, and I went and saw in Portsmouth, and, Laurie Anderson did, and I got to ask her a question. I said, "Does it ever bother you that after you did these amazing shows with video and audio and all of these things happening on stage, that the tech companies went ahead and scooped up that very method to do their, like, live annual reports?" She goes, "No." She said, "No, actually, I'm very flattered. I'm very flattered."
Mhm.
Which I thought was a pretty cool answer.
Yeah. No, she's she carves her own path, and I just like her. She's a reassuring voice from the near past.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of them.
No, it's true.
But Laurie Anderson is one of those people who's like, yeah, she had a beat on this really early on.
Yeah. Yeah. It was interesting too that she talked about her family a little bit. That's really missing from a lot of her work.
Right? Didn't she talk about her mother a lot?
Well, there was
I
like, yeah, there was kind of mom and dad and hi mom and all that. This is your mother. Are you
Right, but
there? Are you
oh, you're
coming
talking about the
home?
lyrics, but in
I
Heart of
mean,
the
Heart of the
Dog.
Dog, she did talk about her mother. She talked about her mother, and I think a lot of the footage of the girls skating was her. I mean, we saw sort of some family footage of the young Laurie Anderson.
Mhm. I just don't
Um,
remember much about the movie. It didn't make much of an
yeah,
impression on me. It
yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
didn't.
Uh,
But that just may be because I'm just losing my marbles. Um,
no,
so
it's true. A lot of it is faded for me too, and I only saw it a couple of days ago. So
yeah, but yeah, here's Jeanine Pirro, a government official, like a Trump official, saying if you come into the District of Columbia with a gun, we're going to arrest you.
yeah,
Like a week after Trump said that about Freddie and had to walk that back, and then Jeanine says this, and now the guys, I think now the gun guys are like, okay, seriously, dude, like what's going on here?
yeah,
Really?
and Trump said he wants to nationalize the elections.
Well, that's a separate. That's
Yeah,
I'm just talking about having a gun.
just yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah,
I'm just talking about I'm in a very small kingdom here, which is
yeah, yeah,
having a
okay,
gun,
yeah,
and that was
no,
like that's one of the key constituencies that he has is
yeah.
these people who are in favor of very expansive interpretation of gun ownership rights
I
and
mean, Kyle
uh,
Rittenhouse. I mean, yeah.
these
There was a comic who did a bit on this. Was like, oh, I don't understand what's wrong with the people. It's very simple. It is illegal to go to a protest with a gun, with a concealed carry weapon, unless you are walking into a protest where nobody is armed and except with skateboards, and you are carrying a long gun.
mhm,
Um, but if you are a nurse,
right.
it's like I don't see I don't see why you people don't understand.
Yeah, it's nuts.
They did it better than I just did, but
No,
yeah,
but it's
it's
just
basically like, if you're one of us,
oh
feel
yeah,
free to carry.
yeah.
If you're one of them,
Oh
we'll
yeah,
arrest
no,
you,
it's
or worse.
completely upside down. But I just love this. I just thought this is great because you know, it's one thing to completely confuse your enemies. It's another thing to completely confuse your allies,
Right.
which is what's
Yeah.
happening right now. Which is the gun, the gun rights lobby enthusiasts are like, okay,
Yeah, the NRA is like, what have we been working on for the past 50 years?
What are you saying?
Yeah.
And so I just find this intensely hilarious, the entire thing. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to talk about anything else without getting.
He says what's in his head.
Yeah. Thank you for that observation. Yeah, that explains a lot. Thanks. That's good. Yep.
As opposed to
help me here. As opposed to drawing a blank. What was in your head when you made the statement that he says what's in his head? Well, that's the answer is that's a statement you make when you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
And you can't afford to piss this guy off. You can't afford to piss the president off.
Right.
In your mind. In the mind of these people, you can't afford to say anything contradictory. So therefore, you're just jammed at that point. You're just like, he's just saying whatever's in his head. Yep. That's a good one.
He was wearing pants.
Yeah. He was saying words. He says words.
He says words.
Yeah. And other utterances. Yep. Thank you very much. Okay. Next on our show tonight. So yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, I mean, if we went down that, but that's as far as we want to go down the rabbit hole.
Oh, you can pick one. I picked Jeanine Pirro because I felt that was fair game because it has nothing to do with your usual conservative versus liberal, left versus right dialogue. It's actually them confounding it's actually the MAGA folks. It's the administration confounding their own supporters,
tripping over their own dick, basically.
Yeah, well. So, but if you have something you want, if there's anything,
I don't know. I keep hearing that his health signs are not good at all.
Oh,
and it makes me wonder, kind of what's the strategy? What's the JD Vance strategy? Because I can't see any. Yeah. Oh no. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. I just say what's in my head.
Yeah. I'm just saying what's in my head.
Yeah.
We should all say that now.
Yeah.
I'm just saying what's in my head.
But yeah, that was a very interesting one that time. What else? Skirting the issue. What else was interesting? Let me take a look at the front page here, see if there's anything else that's of particular. I mean, obviously, if it's renewable, it's bad. That's probably it. It's probably all we got.
Yeah, probably
not worth enough to air, but
it's worth a try. Funny Not Funny is produced by Jim Infantino at Slab Media in Boston. Jim Infantino and Lionel Casson are the co-hosts. Our website is funnynotfunny.net. The theme music is from the song Wheel from the album Utopia Revisited by Jim. The opinions presented by the co-hosts are ridiculous and should not be taken seriously by anyone. Our intended audience is literally nobody. If you're listening to this podcast, you should probably pause to reflect on other choices you've recently made. Please do not subscribe or leave a rating or review. It only encourages us to make more. Thanks for listening.